Sai Ram, imagine that you're going to travel on a long journey, 15 to 20 hours, say by flight. So many things go into planning for that journey, right? What time do we get up? What all do we pack? What are the entertainment options? What will I read or see during the flight? How will I take rest? Where will I take rest? Where will I be sitting? What will be my exercise schedule so that I don't get tired? So many things. Are all the important documents there? All of these we plan for. And we plan for all of these because we take one thing for granted. That is reaching our destination. If I am flying from city A to city B, I know for sure that I am going to reach city B. If at all there is no guarantee that I am going to reach city B, then all the other planning that I do is inconsequential, meaningless, of no use. That is how it is with the journey of life as well. If the destination that we are going to reach is not assured, all the other things that we do, the careers that we pursue, the relationships that we have, the standard of living that we have, all of that become inconsequential and absolutely useless. It is Swami's grace, our Guru's grace, that we know that the destination of our life, the goal of our life is his lotus feet. Self-realization, nirvana, enlightenment, moksha, whatever we may call it. Now, there is a very specific term in our scriptures to denote this intense desire to reach this ultimate destination or moksha. It is called mumukshatvam. In fact, it is considered one of the great blessings if we have mumukshatvam. That yearning, the intense desire to achieve the goal of life, to achieve the destination of life, and not rest, not give importance to anything else as long as this is not achieved. And the story that we will see in this video is of a Sai student who later became a Sai teacher and who is today, in my opinion, a saint living in Puttaparthi, is a story of this mumukshatvam, or the intense desire to achieve the ultimate goal of life. It is interesting that this story is also connected to Lord Ganesha, the Lord who clears all obstacles in any journey. The hero of this story, as in all the stories that I narrate, is Swami. The protagonist is Kishore Madhamshettiwar. For the regular viewers of this channel, you would definitely be acquainted with Kishore Sir, as I call him. You know, he is the one who displayed his immense faith by eating pigeon droppings. In case you are not aware of that incident, you can have a look at it in this link that is given above. Now, Kishore Sir joined the MBA course in the Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning as a student, but that was just the excuse. For him, MBA was not Master of Business Administration. MBA meant mind on Baba always. That was the sole goal with which he joined the university. I mean, that story in itself is fantastic. How he joined the university, what led him to join. In fact, he was the first married person to join as a student in Swami's college. Interesting, right? But that is for another video. Now, once he joined the college, his focus was only this. Only Swami, Swami's teachings, practicing and moving towards the ultimate goal of life. So he practiced silence, he would not interact much, he would remain focused on sadhana, and he was yearning for Swami to give him some upadesh, some message, some mantra that he could practice and follow. He got it in a very interesting manner. One day, as he was working in the Purnachandra auditorium, cleaning various things along with a set of other students, he got the greatest blessing because Swami came walking down to supervise all this work happening. Kishore Sir was sitting in a corner cleaning the crockery, the utensils, silently doing Nama Japa. Swami came to him and said that he should read the Dhyana Vahini. The Dhyana Vahini is a treatise on Dhyana that Bhagawan wrote as a series of articles in the Sanatana Sarathi. It has been compiled into a book now. Swami also told him to practice regular meditation. And Kishore sir was overjoyed. He was thrilled because he wanted an instruction, he wanted an upadesh, and Swami had given that to him. Meditation became his life breath after that. He would keep meditating whenever he got the opportunity. I must state a disclaimer here that it should not be taken for granted that all of us should start meditating, because when Swami gives personalized instructions, it is meant for that individual based on his or her capacity and his or her stage in evolution, right? So for him, this was the command and he followed it implicitly. He would get up early in the morning, go to the terrace of the hostel and keep meditating. And hot Puttaparthi, there are many mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes would feast on him because he would hold his mind and body still, practicing this art or the science or whatever you call it of focusing, because it begins with concentration, then goes to contemplation before becoming meditation. Many of his white kurtas like this that he would wear for sleeping at night would be stained with red spots where all the mosquitoes had feasted on him. But he slowly began to enjoy the bliss and joy that the devotees of the Lord get, the bliss that Mirabai enjoyed, the bliss that Tyagaraja enjoyed, because of which these small drops of blood became inconsequential sacrifices for him. He was very happy to let his whole blood go as long as he could get this bliss. This went on, and he was intense in his practice. But he was not getting that ultimate experience, that taste. Having tasted which, you lose taste for everything else in life and you begin pursuing a spiritual path with a single pointed focus and attention, knowing that that is the only goal in your life, nothing else matters. That experience he didn't get. He had not yet got. I had described such an experience that Bhagya sir got. The ultimate experience. In case you missed that video, you can have a look at it in this link above. Finally, Kishore sir got his experience in the most unexpected manner. It was the month of August in 1988. On the 20th of August, when Swami came for darshan, he seemed to be somewhat not fine. Later, everyone got to know that Swami had fractured his hip. And in a discourse that Swami delivered on the 26th of August 1988, on the occasion of Onam, Swami actually revealed that while having bath, he had slipped on a piece of soap, on a cake of soap, and had a big fall where he had banged his head and his hip had sustained a fracture. Though the body was fractured and was in pain, Swami was not in any suffering because he is beyond the body, right? Swami continued his rigorous schedule of darshan, bhajan, interviews, participating in the public programs, everything. In fact, the devotees and students would get pained. And Kishore sir began to shed tears. He could not bear to see his beloved Lord, his Guru, in such pain. Swami is not showing it, yet seeing the way he walks, seeing the way he would struggle to stand up, he would feel that pain. In fact, on one occasion, Swami came and granted darshan from the balcony. He was on a wheelchair, and in order to make all the boys happy, Swami held a pillar and stood up. And from the top, Swami began to throw biscuit packets for all the students. They definitely rejoiced in this shower of biscuits, the shower of love. But that pain, that, oh God, my Swami has broken his hip, kept gnawing at Kishore sir. After the Onam festivities, Swami was advised by the doctors to take complete rest. And practically everyone felt that if Swami is at Puttaparthi, he will not take rest at all. So they forced him, prayed to him, pleaded to him, and finally made him shift to Bangalore, Vrindavan, where they thought Swami could take a lot of rest. Once Swami was in Vrindavan, the normal schedule went on, the hostel schedule, but Kishore sir was in pain. He was very sad, and that sorrow suddenly became anger one particular day. How it happened is, he had gone for his morning jogging, and it was his practice that after the morning jogging he would come via the higher secondary school where there is a big idol of Lord Ganesha, his favorite deity, after Swami of course, was Ganesha. He would consider Ganesha as his best friend, as his brother, as his comrade in arms. And he went to prostrate there, and the dam in his heart broke open and the floods came surging forth. Whenever Kishore sir narrates this incident, I have heard this twice from him, and on both occasions, before narrating this, he closes his eyes and chants a prayer, a mantra for Lord Ganesha. And he seeks forgiveness from Ganesha for what he is about to narrate, because he says it was done in spontaneity out of love and it meant no disrespect. And therefore, following the tradition, I too humbly seek forgiveness of Lord Ganesha for narrating this, and then would also have this little chant, this mantra, before I proceed with the story.
Om Gananam Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavam Kavinam Upamash Vastamam Jitayaj Vyamana Vyamashapat Anashunva Nutibishi Tasadamnam Pianote Saraswati Vajebe Vajinivati Dinama Vichayavatu Ganeshaya Namaha Shishvatva Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
It started with Kishore sir standing in front of Ganesha and asking, Ganesha, how could you let this happen? You are Vignanashaka, the one who destroys all obstacles. You are the Lord of obstacles, Vigneshwara. You are supposed to clear the obstacles in the path of everybody in this world. You could not clear that little obstacle, that piece of soap from the path of your own father? Now, he felt Swami as the embodiment of Lord Shiva, and so he addressed Ganesha like this. You could not clear that? What sort of a Vigneshwara are you? What sort of a Lord of obstacles are you? What kind of a son are you? You could not do this. See the amount of pain that is being caused to the entire world because of this. Swami is in pain and we are all in pain. Ganesha, you didn't do your duty. What were you doing? Were you sleeping? He went on scolding, and as he scolded, his anger grew, his anguish grew. And he did not know, he lost all hoshovas, he lost all his senses. He began to beat that idol, that is made of solid concrete there. But he did not care. He took his hand and began to beat Ganesha's legs, beat Ganesha's stomach, beat his hands, swinging hard and hitting. His own hands are getting black and blue, but no, he is so upset, he is wailing, he is crying, Ganesha, how could you do this? How could you allow your father to fall? No, Ganesha, no. He began to hit so hard, he was mad in his love for Swami, mad in his anguish at Swami's broken hip, mad in his anger on Ganesha for not having prevented it. He went on beating and beating and beating. It was intense. This sort of intensity is possibly what is needed to cap off the persistent sadhana that is done throughout. Because even as Kishore sir was doing this, suddenly he got lifted and thrown into the air. Thrown literally. He was 6 feet above in the air, suspended, and he didn't know what's happening. He just thought that Ganesha with an invisible trunk had lifted and chucked him up. Instantly, he prayed out to Swami. He said, Swami, sorry, Swami, please protect me. I cannot face the wrath of Ganesha. Swami says, you can treat a stone as God, never treat God as a stone. Here he was seeing the life, the power in an apparent stone idol. And he was thrown 6 feet in the air. And he cried out, Swami! And to his surprise, he landed smoothly on the ground, cross-legged, in a perfect Padmasana pose. And then his eyes were automatically shut. and he was lost. He felt what he describes as an icy warmth. Icy warmth. It's cold, yet it's warm at the bottom of his spine. And that icy warmth began to ascend through his body. From his tailbone, it began to rise up, passing through his stomach regions, his chest regions, through all the organs, spreading light. And that light, that icy warm glow settled right in the middle of his eyebrows, where we apply this vibhuti. And then came the vision of Natya Ganesha, the dancing Lord Ganesha in a cosmic form, surrounded by the galaxies, the stars, the planets. And there was so much joy, so much beauty, and all of this happening within him. And as Ganesha danced in delight, came a young Swami. The Bala Sathya Sai comes walking, and he too joins Lord Ganesha. Such a blissful vision, absolute bliss. And then after a while, Swami begins to move his hand like this, as if he's trying to bring down the tempo of the experience and slowly make it dissolve so that Kishore sir can return to normalcy. And then he opens his eyes. Hours have passed. Dear brothers and sisters, it's a common experience. When we are having fun, time passes quickly. You can only imagine how fast time will pass when we are in that absolute bliss. Hours had elapsed in what seemed like just minutes. Somewhat dazed, yet in a different plane altogether, Kishore sir almost floated back to the hostel. He went straight to the warden, who by now was worried because this boy had been missing throughout the day, and told him what had happened. The warden told him to take rest that evening. Interestingly, the very next day, Swami returned from Vrindavan to Puttaparthi. And again, something beautiful happened that day, because Swami stopped his car, halted it right in front of the boys' hostel, and then got out of the car as if to tell all the students, all the children, that I am fine now, you don't worry. And he walked on the road. All the students sat down on the road there and began to do bhajans. It was a most unique darshan venue, a most unique and special darshan. And then after crossing the other arch, Swami sat back in the car and went to the mandir. That day itself, the warden made it a point to inform Swami of what Kishore sir had told him. Kishore had told him. Swami gave specific instructions. Swami said, that boy has had the Kundalini experience. That is what I have given him. Let him take rest for a few days. Let him himself decide when it is okay for him to go to classes. And then he can resume his classes. That, dear brothers and sisters, is the story of how Kishore sir, Kishore Madhamshettiwar, got one amazing experience, a milestone experience in the journey towards the ultimate goal in life, which is self-realization. It was an experience which made him see the oneness of everything, which made him get a taste of what that Brahmananda is, that ultimate bliss is. Even to achieve a taste of this ultimate bliss, we need a combination of both persistent effort and intense effort. Persistence and intensity, when they get together, that's when suddenly at one particular point there'll be a flash and that experience is granted. And once we experience that, all other experiences in life will become insipid, tasteless, and we will crave and yearn for only this. An experience like this will only strengthen the mumukshatvam till we achieve mokshatvam, or the ultimate moksha. Dear Swami, as we travel along our own journeys of life, let us never forget the ultimate goal, which is your lotus feet. Let us persevere and let us yearn for you with all intensity. And Swami, please grant us with that experience of ultimate bliss after which we will seek nothing else in life. We will not be distracted by nothing else. We will not be distracted by anything else in life. May our love for you, dear Swami, keep growing stronger every passing moment. Thank you. Jai Sai Ram.